Produced by Liang Gu, 80 ancient poems must be memorized in primary schools. 1. Jiangnan. Yuefu of the Han Dynasty. Lotus can be picked in the south of the Yangtze River, and there are fields of lotus leaves. Fish play among the lotus leaves. Produced by Liang Gu, 80 ancient poems must be memorized in primary schools. 1. Jiangnan. Yuefu of the Han Dynasty. Lotus can be picked in the south of the Yangtze River, and there are fields of lotus leaves. Fish play among the lotus leaves. The fish plays with the lotus leaf dong. Fish plays with lotus leaves in the west. Fish plays with lotus leaves in the south. Fish plays with lotus leaves in the north. 2. Changashing. Han Yuefu, sunflowers in the green garden, the morning dew awaits the setting sun. Buds in spring brings brilliance to all things. I am often afraid that when the autumn festival comes, the yellow flowers and leaves will wither. When hundreds of rivers reach the sea from the east, when will they return to the west? If young people don't work hard, old people will be sad. 3. Chi La. Northern Dynasty folk songs. In the Chili River, at the foot of the Een Mountain, the sky is like a dome of a hut, covering the 4 fields. The sky is blue and the fields are vast. The wind blows the grass and you can see cattle and sheep. 4. Chanting Goose, Tang Dynasty, King Luo Bin, goose, 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 the song is singing to the sky. White hair floats on the green water, and anthurium stirs the clear waves. 5. Wind, Tang Dynasty, Li Qiao, Qiao, the 3 autumn leaves fall, and the February flowers bloom. Thousands of feet of waves crossed the river, and thousands of poles slanted into the bamboo. 6. Yonglu, Tang Dynasty. Heizhizhang. Jasper made up a tree as high as a tree, with thousands of green silk ribbons hanging down. I don't know who cut out the thin leaves. The spring breeze in February is like scissors. 7. Returning to hometown. Oops, Tang Dynasty, Heizhizhang. When the young man left home and his elder brother returned home, his local pronunciation remained unchanged and his hair on his temples faded. When children see each other but don't recognize each other, they laugh and ask where the guest is from. 8. Liangzhou Ci, Tang Dynasty, Wang Zhihuan, Yellow River is far above the white clouds. An isolated city in Wanren Mountain. Why should the Chang flute blame the willows? The spring breeze does not pass through the Yumen Pass. 9. Climb the Stork Tower, Tang Dynasty, Wang Zhihuan, the sun sets over the mountains, and the Yellow River flows into the sea. If you want to see 1,000 miles away, go to the next level. 10. Spring Dawn, Tang Dynasty, Menghaoren. I sleep in spring without realizing the dawn, and I can hear the singing of birds everywhere. The sound of wind and rain at night. How many flowers have fallen? 11. Liangzhou Ci. Tang Dynasty, Wang Han, Han. A luminous cup of grape wine, if you want to drink with pipa, immediately urge you. Lord Grim, lying drunk on the battlefield, how many times have you fought in ancient times? 1-2, out of the way, sigh. Tang Dynasty, Wang Changling. The bright moon of Qin Dynasty passed the Han Dynasty, and the people who marched thousands of miles have not yet returned. But the flying generals of Dragon City are here, and Huma is not taught to cross the Een Mountains. 1-3. Fu, Ronglo sends Xian Jian off, Tang Dynasty. Wang Chongling. The cold rain came to Wu at night, and I saw off my guests in Chu Shanggu in the morning. Relatives and friends in Luoyang ask each other like a heart filled with ice in a jade pot. 1-4. Lu Chai, Zhai, Tang Dynasty, Wang Wei. No one can be seen in the empty mountain, but people's voices can be heard. Returning to the deep forest, the light shines on the moss again. 1-5. Send Yuan air envoy to Anxi, Tang Dynasty, Wang Wei, waiting morning rain and light dust. The guest house is green and new. I advise you to drink another glass of wine and leave Yangguan in the west without any old friends. 1-6. Recalling Shandong brothers on September 9th. Tang Dynasty, Wang Wei, a stranger in a foreign land. Every festive season, we miss our loved ones even more. I know from afar that when my brothers climbed to a high place, there was only one less person planting dogwood trees everywhere. 17. Jingye Thoughts, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. There was bright moonlight in front of the bed, and it was suspected to be frost on the ground. He raised his head and looked at the bright moon. Lower your head and miss your hometown. 18 Gu Lang Yu Xing, excerpt, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. I didn't know the moon when I was young, and I called it a white jade plate. I also suspected that the Yao Tai mirror was flying in the blue clouds. The immortal has his legs hanging down. How round are the osmanthus trees? The white rabbit made the medicine by pounding it. Who would he want to eat with? 1-9. Looking at the Lushan waterfall, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai, the incense burner produces purple smoke in the sunshine, and the waterfall hangs in front of the river in the distance. The stream flew straight down 3,000 feet. It is suspected that the Milky Way has fallen into the sky. 20. Presented to Wang Luan, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. Li Bai was about to leave in a boat, when he suddenly heard singing on the shore. The water in Peach Blossom Pond is 1,000 feet deep. Not as good as Wang Luan's gift to me. 21. The Yellow Crane Tower sent Meng Haoran to Guangling, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. The old friend bid farewell to the Yellow Crane Tower in the west, and the fireworks went down to Yangzhou in March. The shadow of the solitary sail disappears in the blue sky. Only the Yangtze River can be seen flowing in the sky. 22. Early departure from Baidi City, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai, Chao Ci Baidi among the colorful clouds, thousands of miles to Jiangling, returned in one day. The apes on both sides of the bank can't stop crying. The boat has passed the 10,000 mountains. 2-3. Looking at Tianmen Mountain, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai, Tianmen interrupts the opening of the Chu River, and the clear water flows eastwards to this point. The green mountains on both sides of the strait stand out from each other, and the lone sail comes from the sun. 24. Farewell Dongda. Tang Dynasty, Gao Shi. Thousands of miles of yellow clouds are shining in the daytime, and the water and wind are blowing the geese and snow. Don't worry, you will have no friends in the future. Who in the world doesn't know you? 2-5. Quatrains, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. 2 orioles sang in the green willows, and a row of egrets ascended to the sky. The window contains the snow of Qianqiu in the Shiling Mountains, and the door is docked with ships thousands of miles away from Dongwu. 2-6. A happy rain on a spring night, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu, good rain knows the season. When spring happens. Sneak into the night with the wind, moistening things silently. The wild paths are all dark with clouds, and the only lights on the river boats are fire. Looking at the red and wet place at dawn, the flowers are heavy on the official city. 2-7. Quatrains, Du Fu of Tang Dynasty. The rivers and mountains are beautiful and cheery, and the spring breeze is fragrant with flowers and grass. The mud melts and the swallows fly, and the sand is warm and the mandarin ducks sleep. 2-8. Walking alone by the river looking for flowers, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu, the river is east of the Huangshi Pagoda. Spring is lazy and sleepy, relying on the breeze. A cluster of peach blossoms blooms without an owner. How cute is the deep red and loves the light red. 2-9. Night mooring at Maple Bridge, Tang Dynasty, Zhangji, the moon is setting, crows are crying, the sky is full of frost, Jiang Feng is fishing and the fire is facing melancholy. At Hanshan Temple outside Gusu City, the bell rang for the passenger ship at midnight. 30. Chuzhou West Stream, Tang Dynasty, Wei Yinggu, the lonely grass grows beside the stream, and there are orioles singing in the deep trees. The spring tide brings rain in a hurry, and there is no boat crossing the wild crossing. 31. The wandering sun chants, Tang Dynasty, Meng Jiao, the thread in the hands of the loving mother, and the clothes on the wandering son's body. Before leaving, I feared that I would be late in returning. Whoever speaks of an inch of grass will be rewarded with 3 rays of spring light. 32. In early spring, Zhang Shiba, a member of the Ministry of Water, appeared outside, Tang Dynasty, Hanyu, the light rain on Tianjie is as moist as crisp, the color of grass looks far away but there is no grass up close. The most beautiful thing about spring is that it is better than smoke and willows all over the imperial capital. 33. Yujizi, Tang Dynasty, Zhangjihe, egrets fly in front of Shisai Mountain, and peach blossoms and flowing water are fat to mandarin fish. Green bamboo hat, green coir raincoat. There is no need to return to the slanting wind and drizzle. 3-4. Saixiac, Tang Dynasty, Luluan, the black geese fly high in the moonlight, and Shan Yu escapes at night. He wanted to drive the Qingqi away, but the heavy snow covered his bow and sword. 3-5. Looking at Dongting, Tang Dynasty, Lu Yushi. The light of the lake and the moon are harmonious, and there is no windshield on the surface of the pool that has not been polished. Looking at the green mountains and rivers of Dongting in the distance, there is a green snail in the silver plate. 3-6. Lengtuosha, Tang Dynasty, Lu Yushi, 9 bends of the Yellow River and thousands of miles of sand. The waves are blown by the wind from the end of the world. Now we go straight up to the Milky Way, and we go to the home of the Morning Glory and the Weaver Girl. 37. Farewell to the ancient grass, Tang Dynasty, by Ji. The grass grows from the original grass, and the grass dries up every year. Wildfires never burn out, but spring breezes blow them again. The distant fragrance invades the ancient road, and the clear green meets the deserted city. I sent the king and grandson away again, full of love. 3-8. Qishang, Tang Dynasty, by Zhi, the little baby holds the boat. Picking white lotus secretly. Without hiding the traces, the duckweed spread out. 3-9. Recalling Jiangnan, Tang, by Jiangnan is good, and the scenery is familiar to me. When the sun rises, the flowers on the river are as red as fire, and when spring comes, the river is as green as blue. Can you not remember Jiangnan? 40. Children fishing, Tang Dynasty, Hulingnan. A child with a shaggy head is learning fishing, sitting sideways on the strawberry grass. Passers-by asked me to wave, fearing that they would be frightened and ignored. 41. Compassion for farmers. Tang Dynasty, Li Shen. At noon on the day of hoeing, sweat dripped from the soil. Who knows that every meal on the plate is hard work? 42. Compassion for farmers, Tang Dynasty, Li Shen, sow a grain of millet in spring and harvest 10,000 grains in autumn. There is no idle land all over the world, and farmers are still starving to death. 4-3. Jiang Shui, Tang Dynasty, Lu Zong Yuan. Thousands of birds have disappeared, and thousands of people have disappeared. A man with a coir raincoat in a lone boat, fishing alone in the snow in the cold river. 4-4. Those who seek hermitage will not find. Tang, Jiadao. Matsushita asked the boy, saying that the teacher was going to collect medicine. Only in this mountain, I don't know where the clouds are. 4-5. Mountain Walk, Tang Dynasty, Dumu. The stone path is sloping up the Hanshan mountain in the distance. There are people deep in the white clouds. Stop and sit in the maple forest at night. The leaves are as red as the flowers in February due to frost. 46. Qingming, Tang Dynasty, Dumu. It rains heavily during the Qingming festival, and pedestrians on the road want to die. May I ask where the restaurant is? The shepherd boy points to Xinghua village in the distance. 47. Jiangnan Spring, Tang Dynasty, Dumu. The orioles are singing in thousands of miles, the green is reflected in red, and the wine flags are blowing in the mountains and rivers of water villages. 480 temples in the southern dynasties. How many buildings are in the mist and rain? 48. B. Tang Dynasty, Luo Yin. Regardless of the flat land or the top of the mountain, the infinite scenery is occupied. After harvesting flowers and turning them into honey, for whom does it work hard and for whom does it taste sweet? 49. The Fisherman on the River. Song Dynasty, Fan Zhongyan. People come and go on the river, but they love the beauty of sea base. You see, a boat is in and out of the storm. 50. Yuan Day, Song Dynasty, Wang Engshi. 1-year-old is eliminated with the sound of firecrackers. The spring breeze brings warmth into Tusu. Thousands of households always exchange new peaches for old talismans. 5-1. The boat is parked in Guazhou, Song Dynasty, Wang Engshi. Jinko Guazhou is on the water. Zhongshan is only separated by several mountains. The spring breeze turns green again to the south bank of the river. When will the bright moon shine on me again? 5-2. Mr. Shu Huin's wall, Song Dynasty, Wang Engshi. The long eaves are swept clean and free of moss. Flowers and trees are planted by hand. A river of water protects the fields and surrounds them with green, and 2 mountains with rows of gates bring green to them. 5-3. On June 27th, drunk reading at Wanghu Tower, Song Dynasty, Su Shi, black clouds rolled over the mountains without covering the mountains. Baiyu jumped into the boat with dancing beads. The wind blows from the ground and then blows away. The water below Wanghu Tower is like the sky. 5-4. Drinking on the lake after the clear rain, Song Dynasty, Su Shi. The clear water is beautiful only when the water shines brightly. The mountain color is empty and the rain is strange. If you want to compare the West Lake to the West, it is always appropriate to put on light makeup and heavy makeup. 5-5. Hui Chongchun River Evening Scene, Song Dynasty, Su Shi, 3 or 2 branches of peach blossoms outside the bamboo. Spring River Plumbing Duck Profit. The ground is full of wormwood and reed buds, and it's the time when the pufferfish is about to come. 56. Inscription on the West Forest Wall, Song Dynasty, Su Shi. Viewed horizontally, it looks like a ridge and a peak on the side, with different heights near and far. I don't know the true face of Mount Lu, just because I am in this mountain. 57. Summer Quatrains. Song Dynasty, Li Qingzhao. Live as a hero, and die as a ghost. I still miss Xiang Yu and refuse to cross the Yangtze River. 58. In the middle of Sanku Road. Southern Song Dynasty, Once Upon a Time. The plum blossoms were yellow, the sun was clear, the creek was overflowing, and the mountains were flowing. The green shade has not slowed down in time, and it has added 4 or 5 aureole sounds. 5-9. Shire, Song Dynasty. Lu Yu. After death, I know that everything is in vain, but I am sad that I will not see the same thing as Jojo. Wang Shibei set the Central Plains Day, and he never forgot to tell Naiwen during family sacrifices. 6-0. On an autumn night, when dawn comes out of the fence to welcome the coolness, Song Dynasty. Land travel. 30,000 miles of river flows eastward into the sea, and 5,000 miles of mountains reach the sky. The remaining people shed tears in the dust, and it is hard to look forward to seeing Master Wang for another year. 6-1. Pastoral Miscellany in 4 Seasons, Song Dynasty, Fan Chengda. The fields are tilled in the day and hemp is harvested at night. The children of the village are each responsible for their own affairs. The children and grandchildren have not yet been asked to farm and weave, and they also learn to grow melons near the mulberry tree. 6-2. Pastoral Miscellany in 4 Seasons, Song Dynasty, Fan Chengda. The plums are golden, the apricots are fat, the wheat flowers are white and the cauliflowers are sparse. As the day progresses, no one passes the fence, only dragonflies and butterflies fly. 6-3. Shaoqi, Song Dynasty, Yang Wanli. The spring is a silent and gentle trickle. The shade of the tree shines on the water, and the love is clear and soft. The little lotus has just revealed its sharp corners, and a dragonfly has already stood on it. 6-4. I left Jingxi Temple to see Lin Zifang off at dawn, Song Dynasty, Yang Wanli. After all, West Lake is in the middle of June. The scenery is different from the 4 seasons. The lotus leaves touching the sky are infinitely green, and the lotus flowers reflecting the sun are uniquely red. 65. The scenery is different from the four seasons. The lotus leaves touching the sky are infinitely green, and the lotus flowers reflecting the sun are uniquely red. 65. Spring day, Song Dynasty, Zhu Shi, the sun is shining brightly on the shore of Sea River, and the boundless scenery is new for a while. It is easy to recognize that in the east wind, there is always spring in 1,000 colors. 66 thoughts after reading the book, Song Dynasty, Zhu Shi. When the half-acre square pond is opened, the skylight, clouds and shadows linger together. Ask him how clear he is. Come for living water from a source. 67. Title Linen Residence, Song Dynasty, Lin Sheng, outside the Qingshan Tower outside the mountain. When will the singing and dancing in the West Lake stop? The warm wind makes tourists drunk and makes Hangzhou look like Bianzhou. 68. Visiting the garden is not worth it. Song Dynasty, Yi Shaoweng. Ying Lian's teeth are imprinted with green moss, and the small buckle firewood door cannot be opened for a long time. The garden is full of spring scenery and can't be contained. A branch of red apricot comes out of the wall. 69. April in the countryside. Song Dynasty, Wenzhuan. The mountains are green and the rivers are white. The rain is like smoke in the sound of the rules. There are few idle people in the countryside in April, so they are planting sericulture and planting fields. 70. Mo Mei, Yuan, Wang Mian. The trees at the head of the pond where I wash my inkstones are all blooming with faint ink marks. Don't let anyone praise you for your good color, just flow pure qi and fill the universe. 71. The chant of lime, Ming Dynasty, Yu Qian, thousands of hammers carved out the deep mountains. If you don't take it easy when the fire burns you, you won't be afraid of being shattered into pieces. You want to leave your innocence in the world. 72. Bamboo and stone. Qing Dynasty, Zheng Xia. He insisted on not letting go of the green mountains, and his roots were still in the broken rocks. It has endured thousands of blows but is still strong, regardless of the winds from east to west, north and south. 73. What I saw, Qing Dynasty, Yuan Mei, the shepherd boy rides the ox, and his singing shakes the forest. He wanted to catch the chirping cicada, but suddenly he stood up with his mouth shut. 74. Village residence. Qing Dynasty, Gao Ding. The grass is long and the orioles are flying in the February sky, and the willows are brushing against the embankments intoxicated by the spring smoke. The children came back early from school and were busy taking advantage of the east wind to fly kites. 75. Miscellaneous poems of Jihai, Qing Dynasty, Gong Zizhen. Jojo relies on wind and thunder to get angry, and it is sad that thousands of horses are silent. I urge God to cheer up and send talents of any kind. Extended to 80 poems, 1. The Book of Songs Picking Way, excerpt. Pre-Qing Dynasty, in the past, I left, and the willows were still there. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's raining and snowing. 2. A 7-step poem, 3 Kingdoms Way, Chao Ji boiled beans to burn the pods, and drained the black beans to make juice. The beetles are burning under the cauldron, the beans are weeping in the cauldron. They are originally from the same root, so why rush to fry each other? 3. Miscellaneous poems in the mountains, southern dynasties, Wu Jun. Smoke is seen on the mountainside, and the setting sun is glimpsed in the bamboo. Birds fly to the eaves and clouds come out of the window. 4. Stay at Jianda River, Tang Dynasty, Menghaoren, moving the boat to Yanzhou. The guests are worried about the new arrival at dusk. The sky is open and the trees are low, the river is clear and the moon is close to people. 5. Joining the army, Tang Dynasty, Wang Chongling, Qinghai. Long clouds darken the snow-capped mountains, and the isolated city looks at Yumen Pass in the distance. The yellow sand will wear the golden armor in 100 battles, and the Lulan will never be returned until it is broken. 6. Sitting alone on Jingting Mountain. Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. All the birds are flying high, and the lonely cloud is alone. I never get tired of seeing each other, only Jingting Mountain. 7. Qiupu Song, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. His white hair is 3,000 feet long, and his fate is as long as his head. I don't know where to find the autumn frost in the bright mirror. 8. Staying at the mountain temple at night, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. The dangerous building is 100 feet high, and you can pick the stars with your hands. I dare not speak loudly for fear of frightening the heavenly beings. 9. Qiupu Song. Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. The fire in the furnace shines on the sky and the earth, and the red stars are scattered in the purple smoke. On a bright moonlit night, Nanlang songs move Hanchuan. 10. A May Mountain Moon Song, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. A May Mountain Half Moon Autumn. The shadow enters the water flow of Pingxiang River. At night, the clear stream flows towards the Three Gorges. I miss you and go down to Yuzhou without seeing you. 11. Hearing the flute in Luocheng on a spring night, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai, whose jade flute is flying darkly. The spring breeze spreads over Luo City. In this nocturne, I heard the broken willows, who can't forget the love of my hometown. 12. I heard that Wang Chongling moved to the left and Long Biao Yuan sent this message, Tang Dynasty, Li Bai. When all the poplar flowers have fallen, Zigui cries, and I hear the dragon marking the way across the 5 streams. I send my sorrowful heart to the bright moon, and follow the wind to the west of the night. 13. Wang Yue, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. How about Dai Zongfu? Qilu is still young. The clock of creation is beautiful, and the yin and yang are separated by the dusk. Zheng Yun was born in his chest, and he returned to the bird in his canthus. You will be at the top of the mountain, and you will have a panoramic view of the mountains. 14. Spring Hope, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. The country is broken by mountains and rivers, and the city has deep spring vegetation. I am moved to tears by the flowers, and the birds are frightened by the hatred. The war rages on for 3 months, and a letter from home is worth 10,000 gold. The white-headed scratches are shorter, and the hairpin is full of lust. 15. I heard that the army was taking over Hunan and Hebei, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. Suddenly it was announced outside the sword that they were taking over Jibei. When I first heard about it, my clothes were filled with tears. But seeing where his wife was worried, she filled volumes of poems and books with joy. To sing during the day, you need to indulge in alcohol. Youth is a good companion for returning home. That is to say, it passes through Wu Gorge from Ba Gorge. To sing during the day, you need to indulge in alcohol. Youth is a good companion for returning home. That is to say, it passes through Wu Gorge from Ba Gorge and then goes down to Xiangyang towards Luoyang. 1-6 Gift to Hua Qing, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. The silk tubes in Jincheng are flowing day by day, half into the river wind and half into the clouds. This song should only exist in heaven. How many times can it be heard in the human world? 1-7. In the year of Li Gui in the south of the Yangtze River, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. It is common in King Qi's house, and Cui Jiutong heard it several times in front of him. It's the beautiful scenery in the south of the Yangtze River, and we meet you again when the flowers are falling. 1-8. Walking alone by the river looking for flowers, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. Huang Xi's family's house is full of flowers, with thousands of flowers hanging down the branches. The butterflies dance all the time, and the orioles sing at ease. 1-9. Fang Bing Chao Huma, Tang Dynasty, Du Fu. Huma's name is Dewan, and he has sharp edges and thin bones. The ears of the bamboo stalks are sharp, and the wind blows lightly on the four hooves. There is no vastness in the direction, which is truly worthy of death and life. If shouting is like this, he can travel thousands of miles. 2-0. Song of the Dusk River, Tang Dynasty, by Zhi. A setting sun spreads over the water, half of the river is rustling and half of the river is red. It's a pity that on the third night of September, the dew looks like pearls and the moon looks like a bow. 2-1 Bird. Tang Dynasty, by Zhi. Who said that the lives of all living beings are small? General flesh and bones, general skin. I advise you not to hit the birds on the branches. The sun is in the nest looking for his mother to return. 2-2. Lengtuosha. Tang Dynasty, by Zhi. The vast white waves are connected to the sea, and the flat sand is boundless in all directions. I couldn't find it in the morning, so I turned the East China Sea into a mulberry field. 2-3. The master of Furong Mountain who stays at Furong Mountain during the snow. Tang Dynasty, Lu Chongqing. At dusk, the mountains are far away, the weather is cold and the White House is poor. Chai Man hears the barking of dogs, and returns home on a snowy night. 2-4. Send Master Ling Che, Tang Dynasty, Lu Chongqing, Sangsang Bamboo Forest Temple. Yao Yao bells ring late. The lotus hat carries the setting sun, and the green mountains alone return to the distance. 2-5. Cold food, Tang Dynasty, Han Hong. There are flowers flying everywhere in the spring city, and the east wind of cold food keeps the willows from slanting. At dusk, candles were passed around the Han Palace, and light smoke dispersed into the house of the 5 marquises. 26. Bamboo Branch Ci, Tang Dynasty, Lu Yushi. The willows are green and the Qingjiang River is level, and I can hear the singing on the Langjiang River. The sun rises in the east and rains in the west. There is no sunshine, but there is sunshine. 27. Wui Alley, Tang Dynasty, Lu Yushi. the wild grass and flowers beside the Suzaku Bridge, and the setting sun at the entrance of Wui Alley. In the old days, the swallows in front of Wang Shitong flew into the homes of ordinary people. 2-8. Autumn Eve, Tang Dynasty, Du Mu, the cold autumn light of silver candles paints the screen, and the light fan blows at the flowing fireflies. The sky is as cold as water at night. Sit and watch Altair and Vega. 29. Mooring in Xinhuai, Tang Dynasty, Du Mu. Smoke cage, cold water, moon cage and sand, mooring in Xinhuai at night near a restaurant. The merchant girl does not know the hatred of the country's subjugation. Across the river, the flowers in the backyard are still singing. 30. Passing Huaqing Palace, Tang Dynasty, Du Mu. Looking back at Chang'an, there are piles of embroidery, and thousands of gates are opened on the top of the mountain. Riding on the red dust, concubine laughed. No one knew it was lychee. 3-1. Send to Judge Han Shuo of Yangzhou, Tang Dynasty, Du Mu. The green mountains are faint and the water is far away, and the grass and trees in the south of the Yangtze River are withered in autumn. 24 Bridges on a moonlit night. Where can a beautiful lady teach me how to play the flute? 32. Early trip to Shangshan, Tang Dynasty, when Tingyun, starting in the morning to recruit priests, the traveler is sad for his hometown. The sound of chickens is heard in Maodian and the moon is shining brightly in Banqiao. The mountain road with fallen oak leaves. Ji Huaming Post Wall. Thinking of Du Ling's dream, all the geese return to the pond. 33. The night rain is sent to the north, Tang Dynasty, Li Shangyin. When you asked about the return date, the night rain in Beishan filled the autumn pond. Why should we cut the candles from the west window together and talk about the rainy night in Beishan? 3-4. Chang'e, Tang Dynasty, Li Shangyin. The candle shadow on the mica screen is deep, the long river is gradually setting and the dawn stars are sinking. Chang'e should regret stealing the elixir, and her heart will be filled with blue sea and blue sky every night. 35. Zhuli Pavilion, Tang Dynasty, Wang Wei. Sitting alone in the secluded bamboo, playing the piano and whistling loudly. People in the deep forest don't know that the bright moon comes to shine. 36. Birdsong Stream, Tang Dynasty, Wang Wei. The people are idle, the sweet-scented Osmanthus falls, the night is quiet and the spring mountain is empty. The moonrise scares the mountain birds, and they sing in the spring stream. 37. Acacia, Tang Dynasty, Wang Wei. Red beans are born in the southern country. When spring comes, send out a few branches. I hope you will pick more of them. This is the most loved thing. 38. Shaosong, Tang Dynasty, Du Xuanhe. Since childhood, I have been thorny in the grass, but now I am gradually aware of the basil. At that time, people did not know the Lingyun tree, and they waited until Lingyun became a master. 39. Saixiac, Tang Dynasty, Luluan. The grass in the forest is frightened by the wind, and the general draws his bow at night. I looked for the white feather in plain sight, but it was missing among the stone edges. 40. Begging for cleverness, Tang, Lin Jia. Look at the blue sky tonight on Chinese Valentine's Day, the morning glory and the weaver girl crossing the river bridge. Every family begged for luck and looked at the autumn moon, wearing tens of thousands of red silk threads. 4-1. Shepherd Boy. Tang Dynasty, Lu Yen. The grass spread across the field for 6 or 7 miles, and the flute played 3 or 4 times in the evening breeze. After returning home and having a good meal, he lay down in the moonlight without taking off his coir raincoat. 4-2. Qiu Si, Tang, Zhangji. The autumn wind is seen in Luoyang City, and the desire to write is full of inspiration. I'm afraid I can't say it all in a hurry, but the travelers are about to leave and open the seal again. 43. Jiangnan Song, Tang Dynasty, Chu Guangxi. Sunset on the Yangtze River. Invite you back to Dutu. The falling flowers come and go like boats as they wish. 4-4. Snow, Tang Dynasty, Luo Yin. Although it is auspicious to have a good harvest, what will happen in a good year? Those who are poor in Chang'an should not be rich in auspiciousness. 45. A young man walks, Tang Dynasty, Linghu Chu. The Xiaoming sword on his back is arched and shining on the frost, and the horse is riding out of Xianyang in the autumn wind. Before the emperor took over the land of Hehuang, he had no intention of looking back at his hometown. 4-6. Cicada. Tang Dynasty, Yushernan. Drooping down the scepter to drink clear dew, the sound of flowing trees came out. Keeping your voice high and far away is not just taking advantage of the autumn wind. 4-7. When the envoy came to Beijing, Tang Dynasty, Xin Shen, the road to the east of my hometown is long. The tears in my sleeves will never dry up. We will meet soon without pen and paper, so I can rely on you to send messages of peace. 48. Ma Shi, Tang, Li He, the sand in the desert is like snow, and the moon in Yanshan Mountain is like a hook. Why should I be golden and have a strong brain? Walk quickly to enjoy the clear autumn. 49. Inscribed on Nanzhuang of the capital city, Tang Dynasty, Cui Hu, on this day last year, in this gate, the faces of the people and the peach blossoms reflected each other's red. I don't know where the human face is. The peach blossoms still laugh at the spring breeze. 50. Chrysanthemums, Tang Dynasty, Yuanzhen, autumn bushes surround the house like Tao's house, and the fence is gradually sloping all over. It's not that chrysanthemums are preferred among flowers. There will be no flowers even after all the flowers have bloomed. 51. Qingpinggold Village, Song Dynasty, Xian Chiji. The eaves are low and the grass is green on the stream. When I was drunk, Wu Yin was so charming. Whose old lady is white-haired? The eldest son is hoeing beans to the east of the stream. Zhong'er is weaving a chicken coop. I like children the most, scoundrels, lying at the head of the stream peeling off lotus pods. 5-2. Shijiang mooned night walk on the yellow sand road, Song Dynasty, Xian Chiji. The bright moon leaves the branches and the magpies are frightened. The breeze makes the cicadas chirp in the middle of the night. The fragrance of rice flowers tells of a good harvest, and the sound of frog sounds. 7 or 8 stars are outside the sky, and 2 or 3 points of rain are in front of the mountain. In the old days, by the forest of Maodian society, I suddenly saw a bridge over a stream when the road turned. 53. Bodhisattva Man Shu Jiangshi Ostomy Wall, Song Dynasty, xin Chiji. Under the clear river water of Yugu Terrace, many pedestrians shed tears in the middle. Looking northwest to Chang'an, one can see countless mountains. The Green Mountains cannot cover it, and it will flow eastward after all. When Jiang was feeling sad at night, he heard partridges deep in the mountains. 54. Like Meng Ling. Song Dynasty, Li Qingzhao. I often remember that the sunset in the creek pavilion. I am so drunk that I don't know the way back. Returning to the boat late after all the fun, I strayed into the depths of lotus flowers. Fighting for the crossing, startling a group of gulls and herons. 5. Climb Feilai Peak, Song Dynasty, Wang Engshi, Qianshuan Pagoda on Feilai Mountain. It is said that the rooster crows and the sun rises. Don't be afraid of the floating clouds covering your eyes, because your body is at the highest level. 6. Plum Blossom, Song Dynasty, Wang Engshi. There are several plum blossoms in the corner, and Ling Han blooms alone. I know it's not snow from afar, because there is a faint fragrance coming. 7. Jiangshang, Song Dynasty, Wang Engshi. The autumn clouds in the north of the Yangtze River are half open, and the evening clouds are rainy but low. The Green Mountains are surrounded by doubtless paths. Suddenly I saw thousands of sails coming. 58. Passing through Songyuan Chenchuikwagongdian, Song Dynasty, Yang Wanli. Mo Yen said that it would be easy to go down to the ridge, and it would make pedestrians like it. Is entering the circle of Wanshan. One mountain passes one mountain's block. 59. The boat passed Anren, Song Dynasty, Yang Wanli. There were 2 children in a fishing boat, collecting their poles and sitting in the boat. It's strange to open an umbrella even when there is no rain. It's not about covering your head, it's about using the wind. 60. Su Gongdian, Suxin City, Song Dynasty, Yang Wanli. The fence is sparse and 1 foot deep, and the flowers on the tree heads have not yet formed shade. The children hurriedly chased the yellow butterfly, flying into the cauliflower and nowhere to be found. 61. Touring Shangxi Village, Song Dynasty, Lu Yu. Mo Xiao's farmhouse is full of wax and wine, and in good years there are plenty of chickens and dolphins. There is no way out despite the mountains and rivers. Another village has a bright future. Xiao Gu followed Chen Xinir, and his clothes were simple and traditional. From now on, if I am allowed to take advantage of the moonlight, I will knock on the door all the time and night with my stick. 62. On November 4th, there was a heavy storm. Song Dynasty, Lu Yu. Lying stiffly in the isolated village, he did not mourn for himself, but still thought of guarding the Luntai for the country. I lay down late at night, listening to the wind and rain, and dreamed of the iron horse and the glacier. 6.3. Reading on a winter night shows Ziyu, Song Dynasty, Lu Yu. The ancients spared no efforts in learning, and their skills were only achieved when they were young and old. After reading the paper, I finally realized it was shallow, but I knew that I had to do it in detail. 6.4. Presented to Lu Jingguan, Song Dynasty, Su Shi. The lotuses are gone and there is no rain cover, and the chrysanthemums are still covered with proud frost branches. You must remember that the good times of the year are the time when oranges are yellow and oranges are green. 6.5. What I Saw in Yishu. Song Dynasty, Yishawen. The rustling of the Wu leaves sent cold sounds, and the autumn wind on the river moved the guests' feelings. I know that there are children picking and knitting, and a light falls on the fence late at night. 6-6. Wangxisha, Song Dynasty, Yan Shu. A new song and a glass of wine. Last year's weather old pavilion. When does the sun set? There is no choice, but the flowers fall away. Deja vu Yan returns. The fragrant path in the small garden wanders alone. 6-7. Spring comes. Song Dynasty, Qinghao. The clouds are light and the wind is passing through the midday sky, and the flowers and willows are crossing the Qianchuan. At that time, people did not know how to enjoy themselves, and they would be called young people who took leisure time to study. Spring comes. Song Dynasty, Qinghao. The clouds are light and the wind is passing through the midday sky, and the flowers and willows are crossing the Qianchuan. At that time, people did not know how to enjoy themselves, and they would be called young people who took leisure time to study. 6-8. Silkworm Woman. Song Dynasty, Zhang Yu. I entered the city yesterday and came back with tears streaming down my face. He who is covered with silken clothes is not a sericulture person. 69. After reading the book, I felt, Song Dynasty, Zhu Shi, a half-acre square pond was opened. The skylight, clouds and shadows linger together. Ask the canal where you can get such clear water, because there is a source of living water. 70. Ode to Mount Hua, Song Dynasty, Ko Zhuan, only the sky is above, and there are no mountains to match it. The red sun is approaching when you raise your head, and the white clouds are low when you look back. 71. Crossing the Lingding Ocean, Song Dynasty, Wen Tianxiang. After all the hardships, there are only a few stars in the surroundings. The red sun is approaching when you raise your head, and the white clouds are low when you look back. 71. Crossing the Lingding Ocean, Song Dynasty, Wen Tianxiang. After all the hardships, there are only a few stars in the surroundings. The mountains and rivers are broken and the wind floats. Life experience is full of ups and downs. I'm afraid on the beach, I'm alone in the ocean. Since ancient times, no one has ever died, leaving a loyal heart to illuminate history. 72. Tianjingsha, Qiu Si. Yuan, Ma Yuan. Withered vines, old trees and dim crows, small bridges and flowing water. The ancient road is westerly and the horse is thin. The sun sets in the west, and the heartbroken people are at the end of the world. 7-3. Tianjingsha, Autumn. Yuan, Bai Pu, the setting sun in the isolated village, the light smoke of jackdaws in the old trees, and the shadow of a flying dragon. Green mountains and green waters, white grass, red leaves and yellow flowers. 7-4. Chao Tianzi, Qing the Trumpet. Ming Dynasty, Wang Pan. Trumpet, Suona, small tunes and loud tunes. The comings and goings of official ships are chaotic, and it all depends on you to raise your voice. The army is worried when it hears it, and the people are afraid when it hears it. Where can we tell what is true and what is false? What I saw blew over this house, and it blew up that house, and the geese flew away after all the water was blown away. 7-5. Song of Tomorrow, Ming, Wenjia tomorrow after tomorrow. There are so many tomorrows. If I wait for tomorrow, everything will be wasted. If people in the world are tired of tomorrow, spring will pass and autumn will come, and old age will come. In the morning, you can see the water flowing eastward, and in the evening, you can see the sun setting in the west. What will happen in 100 years? Please listen to my song tomorrow. 7-6. The picture of fishing alone in the Qiujiang River, Qing Dynasty, Wang Shizhen. A straw hat, a straw hat, a small boat, a foot of silk fiber and an inch of hook. A song and a bottle of wine, one person fishing alone in the river. 77. Sauvignon Blanc, Qin, Nailan Xingda, Shani Cheng. After a journey of water, we walked towards the bank of Yuguan, where thousands of tents were lit in the depths of night. The wind is blowing, the snow is blowing, my hometown is shattered, my dreams are broken, and there is no such sound in my hometown. 7-8. What Zhou Yeshu saw. Qin, check with caution. In the dark moon, I can see fishing lanterns, and there is only a single light of firefly. A slight breeze stirred up the waves, scattering stars all over the river. 7-9. Poems on ink bamboo pictures, Qing Dynasty, Xingxia. Lying in the Yizhai, listening to the rustle